mint bush here today, and what we're going to do is a bit of harvesting. It's early evening, it's 5:30, sun's gone down, plants is cooled down. So if we do any harvesting at this point in time, but generally we emphasize harvesting in the mornings, early in the morning, and in the evenings, so you don't have too much stress on it. So if you look around, we have our little mint bush, which does not look like much right now, but it's just because this mint bush has not been trimmed. This particular mint bush has been allowed to grow for the last 8 months untrimmed. Not because of any marketing strategy, but it was just a water conservation method that we're using to control because you can see the soil type here is not particularly good. It's very sandy. So we're trying to recreate the loamy soil. So anyway, we're just going to walk you through a quick harvest. Now all these are ready for harvest, obviously. You can see top growth. So we have the vine there, and on top of each vine we have good thick vegetation. You can see the vine right there running. Good thick vegetation. So that's all literally we're going to take off today. Yeah, because obviously going to the market, especially for your drink makers, your cooks, your chefs, they only want the top of the plant. No one's interested in the small growth underneath. So that is basically how you harvest your mint. You can be quite crude about it. Just try and take it as low as possible. Now, good thing to observe here is you have a lighter vegetation. So that can be a general guide. So when you pick that and you see a lighter vegetation there, you want to clip it because obviously you're thinking about the end user. You want to clip it right there by that yellow vegetation because that's not good for the market, but everything above that is. So when it regrows, it will give you a greener growth from there. Right, so we're just about taking out the last bits. I think we only supply according to order. So we got an order for about 800 naira, and that's basically what we've trimmed off. If you just have a look in there, that's about, yeah, I mean that's a generous 800 naira, but obviously I like to finish so I can mark exactly where I've finished. So I mean at this point in time I'm not really thinking about how much I'm selling it for. I'm more thinking about mapping out my farm, my area. So what I'm more interested in right here is going to have a defined area that needs some attention for regrowth. See, okay, I've got here some dark green ones that I've missed. Okay, so I just want to clean out. And it's also just like so for weed control, when we come in to do a little bit of weeding, we can make sure that we can just pull out anything that is growing with excessive greens, because in this area all we want to see basically is, yeah, you can see the difference between this area and the rest of the mint patch. So we've just cut out about roughly about 800 naira as I said, which looks roughly something like that. Okay, we're gonna do another video at how we do the cleaning and packaging at another date, or just to give you an idea of like it's not a big deal. This is just like a really small plot, and I'll show you the regrowth of this within 3 days, and you see that it's gonna be just like that within 3 days, especially if I take off every single top in this area. And that's the key to it really, is taking off the tops, because you can see what's left behind. They're mainly the root system, yeah, and you can see all these leaves here are all mint that wasn't harvested, and we did that deliberately. As I said, we were trying to do a soil conservation here because the natural soil here is quite sandy, and we're trying to make it a bit loamy. As you can see in there, the soil texture is changing. Ever so slowly, but it is changing. It's still quite sandy, but it's gradually becoming a sandy loam. So that's a different lesson as well. But anyway, how to turn mint into a bit of pocket change. There you go. Thanks again, once again, guys. Have a great time.